Well, as the highly intelligent, super capable Comrade Kamala Harris continues to hide and avoid speaking to the media for fear of killing her opportunity to be elected the 2024 US president. By the way, how ironic, what a 180. Previously, the way she advanced her career was opening her mouth, and now that's the very one thing that's likely to prevent her advancing any further. I'm obviously referring to her ability to speak to an audience. Orange Man Bad, on the other hand, continues to speak to everyone, everywhere, constantly, and Elon Musk seems to be one of his new favourite subjects.
With Elon, it's like, well, I'm doing a new stainless steel hub that can get us around the engines much quicker because there's a problem with the type of engine going into space nowadays. And I'm hearing but in the end, I think we can have a good hookup because of the new foils that are coming up. And I'm hearing everything that's going through his mind. But he's a super genius guy.
Isn't it so refreshing to hear somebody in US politics rightly praising Elon Musk? He is a super genius. Just look at his track record. It's inarguable. After 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration attacking Musk, weaponizing the Justice Department to go after the guy. Why did that happen again? Oh, that's right, because he bought Twitter, now X, and allowed people to freely share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas, and possibly even articles about laptops that were in fact not Russian disinformation. After nearly 4 years of attacks that really ramped up after X was purchased. Now, don't get me wrong, they were attacking him prior to then, but boy, did things get heated after the Twitter acquisition. It's so refreshing to hear Donald Trump speaking positively, repeatedly about Elon Musk to everyone who'll listen. So much for Elon destroying Tesla's brand by having opinions. And now a quick research note from Morgan Stanley on Tesla, titled Autonomous Industrial Complex. Dwight D. Eisenhower's January 17th, 1961 farewell address introduced the term the military-industrial complex to the American consciousness, a highly relevant subject at the moment. I recommend a reading of the entire address or a listen on YouTube. It's just 16 minutes. As many of the messages do seem quite relevant over 63 years later. My favourite line, quote, "We want democracy to survive for all generations to come, not to become the insolvent phantom of tomorrow. I wish everyone a happy and restful upcoming Labor Day weekend." Well, hang on a minute. Is this Adam Jonas low-key saying, red alert, Comrade Kamala, red alert? Nah, totally unrelated. It's just the start of this research note right after Kamala's been sharing her socialist policies, actually socialist/communist policies, including price controls on groceries, the very first thing out of the gates. This, by the way, obviously totally irrelevant. Isn't it interesting, though, that the very opening of this research note to clients from Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas and co. urges people to listen to this 16-minute speech and then particularly pulls a quote, "We want democracy to survive for all generations to come, not to be replaced with communism." Anyway, moving on. A few pithy thoughts and topics that may have surface area with Tesla that we look forward to developing further with our valued clients in the months ahead. Bots. Depending on the week, we get more incoming calls from clients inquiring about Tesla's potential in humanoid robots, a form factor of embodied AI, than we do on the core EV business. Oh, stop the fucking press. Now, this is a bombshell. These are clients of Morgan Stanley, who historically, on average, regarding Tesla, seem to have their heads firmly inserted in their rear ends. And I'm not trying to be a dick, I'm just pointing out the facts. Half the people on their client list, give or take, don't even own Tesla stock and have historically viewed Tesla as nothing but a car company, who, by the way, would be in big trouble when the competition, quote-unquote, came, for Tesla not all over themselves embarrassingly fast. So the fact that, depending on the week, they're getting more questions sometimes about Tesla's potential with humanoid robots than they are about the core automotive business is actually astonishing and a positive development in terms of people eventually understanding the potential of humanoid robots. I'm stunned, bro. Speechless, which doesn't happen very often. It's worth noting that our Humanoids Blue Paper has more investor reads than anything else our team has published in several years by a multiple, bro. Does anyone have access to this Humanoids Blue Paper? Please hit me up on X with a DM or just email me directly on the YouTube channel. You'll find the contact information. It's pretty easy. solvingthemoneyproblem@gmail.com. I want to see this thing. I'll cover it in a future video. We expect interest levels to rise further as the bots see faster deployment in use cases such as warehouse and logistics, manufacturing and similar closed work cells. Government interest in related enabling technologies and systems will likely follow. China has made development of humanoid robotics a national priority within its broader goal of furthering the digital transformation of its manufacturing sector. Next subject. The US Commerce Department prevents the sale of NVIDIA's most cutting-edge AI chips to China on the grounds that the technology is highly sensitive from a national security lens. If Tesla is on the path to solve the autonomous car problem, some may see that as one of the most profound technological advancements in history, and I happen to be one of the people that would see that as one of the most profound technological advancements in history, with some of the most profound financial implications in history, actually the most profound financial implications. Don't sleep on autonomy. Many investors are understandably asking if the Commerce Department, Department of Defense, blah, 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 might potentially restrict Tesla's sale of its state-of-the-art FSD and Robotaxi algorithms and hardware to Chinese firms. Aircraft and boats? In Elon Musk's introductory comments on the second quarter conference call, he mentioned how, quote, the world is headed for fully electrified transport, not just the cars, but also aircraft and boats. Other than the passing mention of electric aircraft during past investor days, we are not aware of such a prominent reference to aviation and marine in an earnings call. By the way, personally, I don't expect Tesla... Now, look, this is a dangerous thing to say, but I don't expect Tesla's going to get involved in the production, at least not for a while, of boats and or aircraft, although the VTOL is a possibility eventually. However, they do make batteries, and I do suspect that in the future they will be supplying battery cells to other companies that are producing electric aircraft and boats. Now, why wouldn't Tesla do this themselves? Scale. Tesla's ultimate goal is ultra high volume products, period. We're talking tens of millions, hundreds of millions, maybe even more per year. They're certainly going to be making billions of battery cells per year eventually, so selling those to other companies who maybe are making dozens or hundreds of boats, dozens of planes per year, makes a little bit more sense, I think, than Tesla getting into the business. Unless, like I say, there's a way for them to make tens of millions of these things per year, then different story. The arsenal of autonomy. Rapid development of autonomous systems is getting the attention of public investors, VCs, and national security channels. Skip ahead a little bit. Tesla's ultimate role within national security and government end markets, either directly or indirectly, is not clear at this point. Over time, however, the underlying technologies, systems, and supporting supply chains propagated by Tesla may likely expand beyond consumer markets. So I'm going to make a big call here. Tesla's batteries are going to be in abso-fucking-lutely everything in the future. Whether or not they make specific products in other industries and categories, hey, who knows? We've heard mention of a potential HVAC system in the future. Musk has said for many years he'd like to design, was already kind of half designed, or mostly designed a VTOL, as in vertical takeoff and landing electric jet, but just doesn't have the bandwidth mentally to do that yet. So it is on the table, though I wouldn't be counting on it. However, I just have to go back. Depending on the week, we get more incoming calls from clients inquiring about Tesla's potential in humanoid robots than we do on the core EV business. My mind is so fucking blown, you guys have no idea. Now, let me spoil the story for you. Ready? All right, so what the fuck are we looking at here? What we're looking at here is beautiful exponential growth, actually. But what? It appears to hit about, call it, what, $140 trillion? Oh, geez, what a guess. 139.36. And what's this stuff along the bottom? It starts at 1 and then goes to 500, 1,000, 1,500, and 2022. Oh, I know. We're looking at world GDP over time. How did this happen? How did world GDP increase from approximately fuck all, roughly 20 centuries ago, to about $140 trillion more recently? I can answer that question quite simply. 1, innovation/technology. And 2, more humans. That's it. That's the recipe. In other words, useful labor. And the accelerant for useful labor is technology. This one chart right here shows you everything you need to know about the future of humanity in terms of productivity per person and productivity overall, whether or not the population continues to grow, plateaus around 10 billion and then collapses, or otherwise. Technological innovation, especially right now, AI, is going to allow this chart to continue to head vertical. At this point, there does not appear to be a ceiling on global productivity. And I don't know where that ceiling may be, if at all. And I do mean that. There's no signs of slowing down. In the past, every time there's been a major technological innovation, a lot of disruption, people argue, oh no, there's going to be no more jobs. Oh God, this automation's what are we going to do? And then suddenly there's shit to do. Maybe that'll change. But I personally suspect it's possible that there may be no reasonable limit to the size of the global economy. If a company, for example, like Tesla, can produce useful humanoid robots that can contribute to the economy, they can drive the cost of goods and services down, create new types of goods and services, entertainment, information, whatever it might be, this trend could continue for millennia to come. Obviously, if you're familiar with physics, you will understand that once we actually start butting up against the limits of energy and matter in our local star system, okay, we might have a bit of an issue. But until then, I mean, shit, dude, we could potentially see many more orders of magnitude in terms of world GDP growth over time. The way this happens is by massively scaling the amount of useful, intelligent labour, multiplied by exponential progress in terms of technology, driven now primarily by AI, and you have a recipe for astronomical potential in humanoid robots. When I say autonomy will dwarf Tesla's entire existing business, and when I say, oh, by the way, I mean that, like we're talking about a decatrillion opportunity, and when I say humanoid robots will make that look like a rounding error, it's not hyperbole. The problem is people's brains immediately break when they start thinking about the potential of a humanoid robot. One of the most common derp responses you'll hear when you start modelling the numbers out over multiple decades is, but that's more than the GDP of this entire country or nation. If you hear that, you know for a fact that you're listening to a derp whose brain doesn't work. Please refer them to this chart and ask them, what do they think is going to happen in the coming decades and centuries? This is suddenly going to stop and flatline? Is that what you're saying? It's not what you're saying? Then why the fuck would you be comparing the potential of a future innovation to the current state of global GDP when it's on a trajectory to the fucking moon? So absolutely stunned that investors are actually asking Morgan Stanley about this, but I can tell you the potential here, we're talking about, I'm going to say it, bro, I'm going to say it, ready? Over the very long term, not tens of trillions of dollars, not hundreds of trillions of dollars, but possibly quadrillions of dollars. Now let me explain something. We're only roughly a 7x away from world GDP hitting $1 quadrillion. And around 1965 was 7x ago. But this rate of progress is accelerating. 7x is twice more, and we're at roughly $7 quadrillion world GDP. The opportunity with humanoid robots is bigger than you can possibly imagine. Don't sleep on it. Just take the time, model out the implications. You don't have to agree with my own, but if you want to see what I personally expect in some different scenarios, at least over the next decade, not a major impact, but it's a start, take a look at my Tesla valuation model on Patreon. Just join at the investor level and above. There's a link in the pinned comment to join Patreon. One final prediction, however. One, I don't think most investors are really going to believe the potential of the humanoid robotic opportunity. And two, I think most investors are going to assume that the real growth happens a lot later than it's likely to. But hey, what would I know? I'm just some dumb ass on the internet. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.